You should never be limited by vowels, okay? There's closed timbre, which are basically in mixed voice, and then there's open timbre, which is basically in belt configuration. Depending on what song you're singing and what genre of music you're singing, there's always going to be a mixture, okay? You never want to be limited with one. That's the vowel. And then the deeper concept, or the more quote unquote advanced concept, would be density, as they're explained in complete vocal technique or CVT, or vocal cord mass. How much closed quotient there, for example. And that's where things get tricky because not a lot of people out there teaches that because they can't exactly do that themselves, right? So when it comes to adding more density, and again, this is advanced, okay? But when it comes to adding more density, it's advanced because your chords need to be pretty developed. And when I say developed, I mean strength, flexibility, and some experience as well, okay? It doesn't need to be a 10-year experience, okay? But some experience. Some people find it earlier than others, and it's just kind of like how it is, you know? Um, so the density would be, let's say, if I go to A4 again, so that's the density. I'm doing an ah vowel, but I'm just adding the density. So if someone shouts, they would go, hey, hey, hey. That's probably the loudest one you will hear from them, from most singers and also coaches. You're rarely going to hear this sound. Hey, hey, that sound. And I'm not lowering my larynx for that because that's an advanced sound. Not everybody teaches that, right? Now you might be wondering, okay, what's the point of doing that? Well, it really, really solidifies your technique. Number one, it's very good to be able to do that. And of course, if you ever want to sing musical theater or opera or basically singing unamplified, you can certainly use that. Okay, it's a very beneficial sound. From a technique standpoint of view, it's not the most important sound out there. Unless you're really going to become an opera singer, in my opinion, in which case you need to be able to do that. You need to be able to project your voice that loud and have that density quality. And notice that if I go, ha, what is that? That's a falsetto. Ah, even that one, head voice falsetto, that's just, the closed one, the pianissimo head voice, as they would say. And these sounds have certain qualities, certain tones, certain timbre. And that's how you will know what sound what is. For example, if I'm going, ah, and I'm calling that opera, no one will ever say that's opera because that's not opera. Opera needs to be covered, right? So let's say someone will go, ah, they will call that opera. Is it? Well, that's debatable. To me, no. To me, opera sound, in my opinion, would be, ah! That would be opera sound. It's not lowering larynx. Lowering would be, ah! That's lowering larynx. Look at this. I can go, ah! It's a lot of high larynx, okay? That's low larynx. But it can still be classified as opera. Why? Because of the density, because of the vocal cord mass. That's the idea. I want you to practice goog to ah, the open one, and goog to the closed one. Of course, the closer one is going to be easier because they are in the same acoustical setup as in closed timbre or mixed voice, versus the open ah that's more in a belt configuration or open timbre, right? So go ahead, try that, see what happens. Okay, here we go. A4.
Goo goo goo.
Good sound. That was the best sound I've heard today. Okay, with that open eye, you need to get more friendly with that open eye. Look. Ah! 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 A5, right? Can be done. It can be done. So, ah! See that? Medium kind of volume, kind of like SLS mix, right? So try that. And there's a reason why I'm having you do it at an A4, okay? It's hard to control that, right? It's hard to control that. So that's the control we want, right? That's why, many teachers out there, they don't teach you belting. They're afraid of that. But it can be done. I'm literally doing it. I can use whatever volume I like, really, right?
Mhm.
I can go, right? A little bit louder. Right? I can go more musical theater opera. Now that I did, that was full density.
Mhm.
Okay? It's not it's not that not the sort of quote unquote operatic one, right? So it will sound like but it has more density, more depth, more mass. A lot of teachers would say that, oh, you cannot do that. You'd have to go You cannot go but I'm doing it. It's perfectly fine. I can go no problem, right? So in other words, the possibilities are endless, really, right? It's really about how you do it.